Okay, so in the last video, we got the Mini back on its wheels, which is great. However, we also got billows and billows of white smoke. And at this point now, it's just one day later. And I don't know where to start, to be honest. I'm going to do some basic fault finding and see where we get. I'm going to show you what I've checked already, and then you can kind of follow me around as I muddle through and try and figure things out. Now, I'm an electrician, solar installer, time served, and been in the trade 20 years. So fault finding electrics, fault finding mechanical stuff that I've got no clue on, different kettle of fish. However, I guess the principles will be the same. So we'll check the basics, then we'll go over some of the things it might be, and just basic checks and see where we get. I feel like it's a head gasket. Speaking to some people on the Mini chat forums, it could be an air leak, it could be, I don't know, water pump maybe, or I don't know. So at this stage where we're at is I started it up yesterday.
Not good, right?
Immediately we started getting smoke straight away. So it's not like it warmed up and then smoked. It was an instant white smoke at the back. And then I took it for a drive around the yard to just see if it was a bit of condensation or something, it'd clear, but it's made no difference. So the more I rev it, the more white smoke comes. If I leave it to idle, it will really lumpy, like it's misfiring, and we'll get white smoke constantly puff, 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 out the exhaust, and I'll probably put a video in so you can see that. Then when I drive, we get billows and billows of white smoke. Now, after I've been around the yard for a good 10 minutes, I've not got up to top speeds, but we've ran the car up to temperature. I've confirmed there's not an airlock. Like, the pipes are all getting warm everywhere on the water system. The water was going really up and down, and that's the coolant seems to have leveled out on that. And the last video I said I'd filled it up with water. That's all sorted now, so we've got a mixture of water and coolant in. We've got the right coolant in. Oil levels, I checked them, they were quite low, but it hasn't had a service since I've had it. So I've just topped the oil up as well to make sure we're on a clean slate. We've got no patches of oil anywhere, so I've not lost any oil while it's been standing, so that's good. We've got no major leaks. We had a few small ones which I sorted. Rocker cover was leaking, that's all resolved. So where we're at now is still white smoke. Oil is clear, we're not getting coolant in the oil, so it's not cloudy, and the coolant's clear as well. There's no oil in that. However, everything stinks of fuel. Now, I don't know if that's because it's misfiring, so it could be a sensor issue. So it could be misfiring, and my dog's chatting to the farm dog. It could be misfiring and fuel getting, I don't know why that called white smoke. I don't know. You guys are supposed to be helping me on this, so rudely interrupted by the dogs. But here we are. So this is what the plan is at the minute. Like I say, we've got clear coolant, clear oil, all good there. Earthing was something that someone mentioned, so check the earthing. Now, I have played around with this. Down here, as you can see, I have put some earthing. There we go. I have put a new earth on there, so I have disturbed that, so that could be something. Now, the other thing is I have had the ECU out, so under here is the ECU. Now, that does appear to be all down. Right, I can't see any problems with that. There's no problems there. Under here's the fuse box. Again, it's bone dry. It doesn't appear to have any problems. Everything's intact. I will go through it with a tester, just make sure there's no major fuses missing. It all looks good from the top. Nothing under there that looks like there's a problem. Okay, so let's pop that back on. Okay, so that's them. Now down here, I mean, we've got all sorts, haven't we? So there's some major electrical connectors there. They're all good. They're on tight. There's nothing happening there that could disturb anything. And then around this side, again, I've gone through the same process. So we've got, I think, is that fuel? We've got fuel there. with a filter of some kind. It's all attached, like nothing's loose. Checking the basics, nothing seems missing or broken. So that all appears fine as well. Now there is a bit of a rat's nest of wiring down here, and this was all revealed when I took the arch liners off. But again, it's all intact. I've been around it all, not done any testing on it, but it all looks fine. Now, since I've done the work and I've had the brakes off, I have got an ABS light now. I'm hoping when we get a code reader on it, it should clear that. But again, I haven't worked on the ABS, so seems okay. Again, I'm just doing a visual inspection at the minute. Again, there's another connector here. None of this stuff I've had off. So the things I've had off, obviously the front radiator came off, and underneath there is, you know, headlight connectors, radiator connectors, brake connectors. They'd all been off, but they're all back. They all seem like they're right in the right place. So the next thing I'm going to check, I think I'm going to get the intercooler off again and expose all the injectors, because if there's a fueling problem and it's electrical, it could be that there's a loose connection on one of the injectors, because the wiring on them was bad. So I'm going to take that off now, and we'll just see what that looks like underneath. Okay, so we've found the first signs of a problem, literally the first thing I've took off. So although we do have a couple of issues on this injector wiring not being great, I don't think it's causing actual problems, because it is all still intact. Sorry, I was off camera there, wasn't I? So that the wiring isn't great here, but I don't think that's the actual issue, because when you look in the intercooler, you can see fresh fluid, and it's even worse on this side. So going in there, oily. Yeah, stinks of fuel and oil, so definitely oil, and that looks clean and fresh oil as well. So I've just topped it up, and I guess whatever's gone in has come straight out. So that is probably suspect number one of major issues. So you can see actually there's quite a bit of it in there. So these gaskets were really clean, or rubber seals, whatever, snoot boots or whatever they call them, were really clean, because I've had them off the car for a few weeks, and you can see they're absolutely dripping now. It's done no miles, obviously it's just been running in the car park, but dear. So that's probably my first port of call, find out what's happening with that. So yeah, we'll do some reading, see if we can find online what this might be. There's definitely a problem. I think the symptom of having oil in the intercooler is probably, is it oil, is it fuel? No, it's not fuel. Fuel is stink, so I'm sure it's oil, or oily fuel. This could be a symptom rather than a cause, so I'll go and figure out what's going on, why it's getting wet in there, and we'll come back with some more answers, hopefully. I'm delighted to say that this little thing here has stopped all the smoke. Unbelievably, I plugged this in and it had a couple of fault codes on it, and stupidly I didn't video it because I never thought for a second I'd be fixing things so quickly. But plugged this in, a couple of error codes came up saying there's misfires on cylinders 1 and 3. So I pressed clear, and immediately the car started up just fine with no smoke. So I'm in the car now, in the yard at the farm, just driving backwards and forwards, and as you can see, no smoke. Sounds lovely, works really well. So I'm going to take it for a drive around the block, see how things are. The exhaust is really rattly, and I knew that anyway, so that's going to be my next job, is get the exhaust off and change, stop the rattling, and hopefully that'll solve everything. Well, some of the stuff will be solved until the next round of repairs, but that'll solve the problem with the issues we've been having in the smoking, and there we go. So let's take it for a spin and come back and see what we've found. Progress has been made nailing down some of these faults. So we've also got a very good outtake to show you if you stick around till the end of the video. I've took the exhaust off because it was making all sorts of rattling sounds, and when I looked underneath there were no brackets at all, other than the rubber mounts that I dangling it from the underside of the car. So anything that was bolted on just wasn't there. So we've ordered a stainless exhaust, which is here, nice big 3-inch diameter, That's quite sweet, isn't it? And I'm going to fit this. I have got a down manifold for it as well, but I don't think I'm going to go for that just yet. I'm going to get this exhaust on and running and get the car driving. That's the main plan. I think someone commented on a previous video saying getting it driving is the most important thing, and fixing more things as you find them is a good idea, and that's what we're going with. So I've got this to fit. Now, the reason I took this off, even though it's kind of a modification, the reason we went for that is because there's a horrible knocking sound coming from underneath the car. Now, what I've done is I've took the exhaust off, hoping that the knocking sound will go away, because I thought it might have been the flexi pipe on the downpipes at the front, so sort of flexing and moving around and knocking as I was stopping and starting the car. It's not. So we know it shouldn't be the engine mounts, because 2 out of the 3 have been replaced, so it could be the 3rd engine mount. We also know it shouldn't be any of the ball joints or things like that, because they've all been replaced as well. So narrowing it down, it could be the top mounts. Unlikely. It sounds like it's coming from right at the bottom of the car. Could be maybe some of the suspension, or it could be that I've just not tightened the bolt up properly. So I guess we'll go round it again. At the minute it's still not driving, so the tracking's off, needs sorting. The exhaust's off, needs fitting. And obviously we've got this knock that I need to track down. So as I'm going around it, finding those bits, we can get closer to getting back on the road, and hopefully we can maybe get everything tied up and it drivable again. But this knock's a new one. It's not an existing knock, so it must be something that I've done, or something being undone and redone is not sat right. Maybe it's a suspension spring, because I haven't actually changed them, but they've been, you know, hanging for God knows how long. Might be the brakes stopping when I'm moving off, and when I'm stopping. So when the brake's being pressed, it's stopping. Maybe it's a sticking caliper, something like that. I don't know. So we'll go around, we'll figure it out. Might be a loose wheel, actually, thinking about that, because I don't think, because I've not drove it anywhere, I've not double checked the wheels. All looks good. So more fault finding to come in the latest episode of Fixing Ben's Mini. I might also treat you to a sound video, which seems very popular on YouTube at the minute, of just the engine with no exhaust on, because it's really noisy, because I've had to move it. So what I've been doing is driving up this step here with the front end and jacking the back up so I can crawl under the car, and then parking back up here when I finish working on it. So not much left to do. I've had literally half an hour tonight stripping the exhaust off, checking for noise, finding out what's going on, and it's gone together really quick. However, as ever with the Mini, this thing here has defeated me. So this is the front engine mount. It goes kind of under there, look, right below where you sit. These 2 rubbers are just broke, they're ripped in the middle. I don't think they've ever been changed, and these nuts are completely wound off. So I'm wondering if I can get, it looks pretty scabby as well, so I'm wondering if I can get the whole thing with some new rubbers. You can see they're quite bent at the back even. There we go. Yeah, no, those rubbers in the middle just aren't attached. That one there is ripped all the way through. You can kind of see that there. So yeah, we'll try and get this. I was hoping to get it on tonight, and then when I found that, I was like, ugh, put it all to bed, go home. Might get it home before 7 o'clock tonight. So but it's good fun trying to get this all back together and on the road, and hopefully got an eye on another track day. I think it's in August at Donington. It's an evening session, so it's giving me another target to work towards. I reckon we can go in on the tyres we've got, with the suspension we've got, a bit more of a noisy exhaust, so it sounds like I'm going fast even if I'm not, and it gives me a target to get it roadworthy at least. And then after that we can see what breaks or see what needs improving, and we'll take things from there. So okay, I think that about wraps up this video. It's been a bit disjointed, but some progress has been made. We've caused a fault, we've fixed a fault, we've found more faults and fixed them. Oh, the ABS fault's gone. It was a wheel speed sensor, just, I don't know, I think we cleared the faults on that and it disappeared entirely. So yeah, lots of progress been made over the last kind of, it's not a lot of work, it's like 3 or 4 hours work, but it's spread over half an hour here, an hour there. So hitting an obstacle, ordering parts, getting back on it. I'm lucky enough that I can kind of leave it parked and I don't need it daily. So yeah, it's been good. We're getting some progress. I'm quite happy with how we're going. And hopefully the next video can be a full-on fitting an exhaust and demoing the new sounds and all the rest. So wish me luck.